Hi everybody, this is Alchemist2, and I'm back again with another movie review. Yesterday I decided to watch Safe House, which I shouldn't have done before I went to sleep, which is why I am awake at this very moment. It was really an intense film, extremely intense, and the synopsis of the tale is we have Tobin Frost, played beautifully by Denzel Washington, and one of his best roles ever, I believe. And I'm not going to say too much about Frost, because if I do, it'll give quite a bit away concerning our plot of the film. It's got some absolutely spectacular chase scenes in them, probably some of the best I've seen since the Bourne quadrilogy, which I haven't seen the most recent. It should be called a quintology. Uh, I'll tell you if it's better once I see it, which I will, because I'm a huge fan of the whole Bourne series. But the different lighting and the colors that are used throughout the movie, it's really different from what I've seen, and the different ways that the camera angles are used. It's just it's very unique, and it gives you different perspectives, and you keep wondering why they're using those different perspectives with the camera. But I think it's just a very innovative way of cinematography, honestly, especially a lot of the overhead views in the uh, helicopters that they did were really stunning. This took place in South Africa, and it was just totally insane. There were moments that I was literally gripping my legs in in the fact that I was just speechless the entire time. I was concerned for all the characters involved. See, what happens is we've got a safe house involved in Johannesburg, and Frost is shipped there. Well, it takes a while for us to get to this pivotal scene within the film, and the whole idea of the plot is trust no one, particularly if you work for the government. And this message is resounded strong throughout the movie. And I really enjoyed Denzel playing a character that you just love to hate, but a character that you feel kind of sorry for later. You're not really sure if his purpose is for good. You can't really tell good from evil, and you're not really sure how these other agencies are able to tail him at the very beginning. I'm not sure if they had information on where he was traveling. Well, what he had, the information that he carried, was of such a nature that it would besmirch the organization, especially the CIA. Well, all the covert operations, CIA, MI6, KGB, every known agency that protects information. This little file that he's been carrying around, it would just completely ruin their existences, and it's kind of like WikiLeaks. It sort of reminded me of that. I thought, yeah, this could happen in real life. It has happened. The movie itself is just really, really, really fierce and extremely psychologically upsetting It's the reason why I couldn't sleep. It just gave me a lot to think about, considering our government and the fact that I just don't trust anybody in it. God forgive me, but I don't. It's the whole idea is, sometimes you just have to go with your own gut, and if something doesn't feel right to you, if intrinsically you're sensing that there's something that's occurring that you can't trust, and you think that something insidious is occurring, then you have to take business into your own hands. And I'm not going to say what happens, but our main character's mettle is tested, and he's kind of an agent. Well, he's not that experienced, and his world just turns completely upside down. And as far as films are concerned, I think this is absolutely sensational. I really do. I give it 5 stars and 2 thumbs way up. I think that it is just a remarkable movie. It's very violent, as you would expect for a film of this caliber to be. There is very little cursing, which I actually appreciate in a movie like this. You don't really need to curse constantly in order to get your message. This movie is able to do so through actions. It does all of its big talking through the adrenaline-packed action that we see on the screen, particularly that of the chase scenes, which I said are my favorite. I'm not really sure what else to say about this film. I didn't really find anything that was questionable or defied my logic in any way, shape, or form, because I know that this sort of thing can happen, and probably does happen every day within our government, which gives me pause. It's a rather realistic portrayal of what happens in a covert agency such as the CIA. Well, I wouldn't know, but I've heard stories and I've read books, and yeah, I think that it's very apropos, and everything that is presented is done in such a way that you believe everything that's occurring. The guy who played Matt Watson, I really liked him. He at first he comes across as kind of this mewling weakling, but later he proves himself to be more than that, and to be a very intelligent, capable man. And the whole idea, like I said, is trust no one, particularly if you are in league with the government. And you learn this very quickly throughout the duration of the film, that there's really nobody within the government that one can trust. And your best wager, if you happen to deal with somebody who is a rogue agent, they probably went rogue for a good reason, and that would be Frost. And I know that's a slight spoiler, but I'm not going to tell you the reason exactly why he went rogue, because it's really, really intriguing, and it's very revealing. And there's a humanness to his character, even though he comes across as sort of a Superman, and just extremely dangerous, and somebody that you couldn't trust if you threw him across the room. And Matt's character, he's the exact opposite. He's more of an innocent character whose ideals are basically flipped upside down, and it shows this evolution. And other than that, I really don't have that much else to say about Safe House, other than with the commercial. If you've seen the trailer, they don't have that song to the very end, and the song is really righteous. There really isn't that much. Well, the music involved in the background is what you would consider common fare for an action film, action slash adventure slash suspense, psychological horror sort of film. It just keeps you on edge the whole time, and I just was clutching the sides of my legs, and I kept clenching my fists and wondering, is anybody going to make it out of this film alive? And I'm not going to give away the ending, because the ending is, it kind of leaves it open to a sequel, I think, possibly. I don't know if they're going to do a sequel or not. It would be interesting if they did, because I would love to see more of this sort of film, because it's just the type that makes you think, and I like that quite a bit. It's not just the substance of things exploding and people running for their lives and people getting shot in the head. No, it's not just about that. It's all about how corrupt and greedy the government is, and the truth, what truth really is, and keeping keeping that truth, actually being a purveyor of the truth, and the cost of that, especially in this day and age. And we see that as well, and it's totally fantastic. And I highly recommend it if you're a fan of Denzel, because Denzel delivers. He is just spellbinding in this movie, and you cannot turn away from him. He is just a very disturbing character in this movie. I think that this is his best role ever. He should have gotten an Oscar for it, as far as I'm concerned, because he just he chilled me to the bone. Seriously. I cannot say anything more about this particular role for him. He just, there could not have been anybody who could have performed this role more perfectly than he did.